Jefferson County Court at Law number 2 is back in session. The court is in session and calls number 23CCCR 0588, case is style of the state of Texas versus Reginald Blewett. Mr. Blewett, again, is that your full name? Now, Mr. Blewett, earlier you had requested that an attorney be appointed to represent you. You filled out the necessary paperwork. The court went over that paperwork and found that you met the eligibility requirements for the appointment of a court-appointed attorney. And the attorney that was appointed to represent you is attorney William Wilkerson. Now, the court also has some bond conditions that we're going to give to you. And the court is going to go over these bond conditions with you. The court had earlier went over some bond conditions with you, but that would no longer be in effect. We have some new bond conditions. Now, the title of the document that you have is titled Standard Bond Conditions in County Court at Law number 2. Do you see that title? And it reads as follows. Following the return of a criminal information in County Court at Law number 2 of Jefferson County, Texas, all bail bonds executed for release of any defendant named herein are ordered subject to the additional conditions. Number 1, the defendant shall commit no offense against the laws of this state, any other state, or of the United States. Do you understand that condition? Condition number 2, the defendant shall submit to testing for drugs and alcohol at any time as directed by the court. The court may revoke the bond and order the arrest of any defendant who A, refuses to submit to a test for drugs and alcohol when directed to do so by the court, or B, submit to a test for drugs and alcohol and the test indicates the presence of drugs and alcohol in the defendant's body, and that's pursuant to the Texas Code of Criminal Procedure, Article 17.44, Section A2 and Section C2. Do you understand that condition? And condition number 3, the defendant shall not communicate either directly or indirectly with the alleged victim of the pending offense, and the defendant shall not go near any residence, school, or other location frequented by the alleged victim. Do you understand that condition? Now, condition number 4 does not apply because that only applies in the DWI case. However, condition number 5 and 6 does apply. Condition number 5, the defendant shall, you shall attend AANA 2 times a week and provide proof to the court. Do you see that? Condition number 5?
All right.
You got it? Okay. And condition number 6, you shall attend and complete the ATAR program at the Spindletop Center and follow all of their directions. Do you understand that? Now, Mr. Blewett, if you violate any one of these conditions, your bond can be revoked. And if your bond is revoked, the warrant can be issued for your arrest. And if the warrant is issued for your arrest, you can be arrested, placed in Jefferson County Jail. Do you understand that? Okay, now your case is going to be reset to give you time to meet with your attorney, as well as give your attorney an opportunity to investigate the case, talk to you, and also give you an opportunity to participate in the programs that I've just mentioned. So this afternoon, you may go over to Spindletop and see if you can get started in the ATAR program. They may set up a different appointment date for you, but by the time that you come back, you'll bring proof that you're in the ATAR program and bring proof of your participation in the alcohol at anonymous program. Now, I think you have someone here with you. Okay, now, it was our understanding that he's not driving, is that correct? Okay, so you don't need to be driving today. Okay, all right, just.
He's already gone.
Oh, you already have it?
No.
The reset?
No.
Okay, she's gonna give you a reset. Once you get your reset, you'll be free to go and you have a blessed day.
William Wilkerson. The next court is September 27. You should be contacting me within 24 hours of the meeting regarding. However, if he doesn't, this is his contact information.
And Mr. Blewett, the court likes to commend you for taking the initiative to address the issue. Okay, to address the issue that you have. Okay. All right. Okay, you just go with the bailiff, he just talk to you, okay. And Mr. Gilliam, thanks a lot.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, you're welcome. Who do? I have two of them, okay. That was County Court at law number 2 back in session. The court is in session and cause number M333422, case of style of state of Texas versus Portland Hardwick. Mr. Hardwick, would you please come forward? Mr. Hardwick, your full name is Cortland Hardwick.
Yes, sir. Julian Harvey.
Okay. Mr. Hardwick, would you please raise your right hand? Mr. Hardwick, do you swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Hardwick, you may put your hand down. How are you doing, Mr. Hardwick?
I'm doing great. How you doing?
I'm doing fine. Thanks for asking. Mr. Hardwick, you're here represented by your attorney, Attorney Joe Vasquez. Attorney Vasquez, how are you doing?
Good, John. How about yourself?
I'm doing fine. Thanks for asking. Mr. Vasquez, do you waive a record in Mr. Hardwick's case?
Yes, sure.
State is represented in this case by Attorney Kobe Hoffpower. Attorney Hoffpower, how are you doing?
Good, thank you.
Mr. Hardwick, I have before me a document that is titled information. This information was filed by the Jefferson County District Attorney's Office. In this information, it alleges that you, Cortland Hardwick, on or about October 1st of 2022, while you were in Jefferson County, Texas, that you committed the Class A misdemeanor offense of assault family violence. Mr. Hardwick, do you understand what you've been charged with?
Yes, yes, sir.
And to this charge, Mr. Hardwick, how do you plead? Guilty, not guilty, or no contest?
No contest.
Now, you're pleading no contest freely and voluntarily?
Yes, sir.
And are you pleading no contest because you do not wish to fight or contest the charges?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Hardwick, I also have before me a document that is titled misdemeanor plea admonishment. It is also labeled as State's Exhibit number 1. Mr. Hardwick, do you recognize this document?
Yes, sir.
On page 2 of this same document, Mr. Hardwick, there are a set of initials, CGH, on a line next to a box that says check nolo contendere, which means no contest. Did you place your initials on this document?
Yes, sir. CJH, I just ran it from there.
Oh, CJH.
Yes, sir.
Okay. And on page 3 of this document, there's a signature above the line that is titled defendant. Is this your signature?
Yes, sir.
On the next document that's titled trial court certification of defendant's right of appeal, do you recognize this document?
Yes, sir.
And is this your signature on the line that's titled defendant?
Yes, sir.
At the top of this document, there are 2 boxes that's checked. The first box that's checked states that this is a plea bargain case and you have no right of appeal. Do you understand that statement?
Yes, sir.
The second box that's checked states that you are waiving your right to an appeal, which means you're giving up your right to an appeal. Do you understand that statement?
Yes, sir.
I also have before me a document that is titled discovery certification. Do you recognize this document?
Yes, sir.
And is this your signature on the line that's titled defendant?
Yes, sir.
Now, Mr. Hardwick, before you signed the initial, all of these documents that I just showed you, did your attorney, Mr. Vasquez, go over these documents with you?
Yes, sir. Very thoroughly.
And did you read and understand everything that he went over?
Yes, sir.
And is everything in these documents true and correct to the best of your knowledge?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Hardwick, are you a citizen of the United States?
Yes, sir.
State, I have before me State's Exhibit number 1, the misdemeanor plea admonishment, and State's Exhibit number 2, the probable cause affidavit, which is in the court's file. State, would you like to offer State's Exhibits 1 and 2?
Yes, sir. No objection.
No objection. State's Exhibits 1 and 2 are admitted. Mr. Vasquez, you have advised and counseled Mr. Hardwick. Is there any evidence that he is currently mentally incompetent to stand trial?
No, Your Honor.
Mr. Hardwick, your attorney, Mr. Vasquez, has advised and counseled you. Are you satisfied with his representation?
Yes, Your Honor.
Has he provided full, effective, and competent legal representation?
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Hardwick, I will accept your plea of no contest. I will find that you are mentally competent to stand trial. I will also find that your plea and waivers were freely and voluntarily given. And I will also find that there is sufficient evidence to find you guilty beyond a reasonable doubt. Bless you.
I'm sorry.
State, do we have a plea bargain agreement?
We do, Your Honor.
And what is that agreement?
Exchange for a plea of guilty, no contest. The state agrees to recommend 6 days in the Jefferson County Jail and court cost. The defendant has credit for 6 days. It has to be time served and be taxed for trial.
Mr. Hardwick,
Mhm.
the state is offering that you serve 6 days in the Jefferson County Jail. However, you will not be required to serve any more time in the Jefferson County Jail on this case because you've already served 6 days in Jefferson County Jail. Therefore, you're given credit for the time that you have already served in jail. The court cost in this case is $337, but you will not be required to pay the $337 court cost because the time that you spent in jail has already paid it off. Therefore, the court cost will be taxed and retired. Mr. Hardwick, do you understand the state's offer?
Yes, sir.
Do you think that the state's offer in your case is fair and just?
Yes, sir.
And do you accept the state's offer?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Hardwick, I'll follow the plea bargain agreement that you have entered into with the state. Mr. Hardwick, you're gonna stand on the X next to, right here, next to your attorney. You're gonna follow the directions of the clerk. Once you finish following her directions, okay. Once you finish following her directions, I'm gonna have you to come back here. Yeah, okay, Mr. Harper. That paperwork right there, that's on the bench, right here. No, it's this is the bench right here.
Oh, okay.
Once you grab that, just have it stand right there back in front of the court.
Okay.
I'm going to go over that right there. I'm going to go over that paperwork with you. That document is titled Model Written Ammunition on Ineligibility to Possess a Firearm Ammunition. So in accordance with the Texas Administrative Code, section 176.1, the court hereby admonishes you or warns you of the following. Number one, you are by entry of order or judgment ineligible under Texas law to possess a firearm or ammunition. Number two, beginning now, if you possess a firearm or ammunition, it could lead to charges against you. If you have questions about how long you will be ineligible to possess a firearm or ammunition, you should consult an attorney. Number three, under Texas Penal Code, section 46.013, a firearms mean any device designed, made, or adapted to expel a projectile through a barrel by using the energy generated by an explosion or burning substance, or any device readily convertible to that use. B, firearm does not include a firearm that may have as an integral part a folding knife blade or other characteristics of weapons made illegal by Penal Code Chapter 46, and that is one, an antique or curio firearm manufactured before 1899, or two, a replica of an antique or curio firearm manufactured before 1899, but only if the replica does not use rimfire or centerfire ammunition. The statutes listed below are a starting point for ineligibility to possess a firearm or ammunition. For more information about the laws that make you ineligible to possess a firearm or ammunition, or for more information on how long your ineligibility to possess a firearm or ammunition lasts, the court recommends you contact an attorney. Code of Criminal Procedure, Article 17.292, Magistrate's Orders for Emergency Protection. Code of Criminal Procedure, Article 42.0131, Notice for persons convicted of misdemeanors involving family violence. Penal Code Section 46.02, unlawful carrying weapons. Penal Code Section 46.04, unlawful possession of firearm. Penal Code Section 25.07, violation of certain court orders or conditions of bond in a family violence, child abuse or neglect, sexual assault or abuse, indecent assault, stalking, or trafficking case. Family Code Section 85.026, warning on protective orders. Now, Mr. Hardwick, that document that I just read to you is your copy. You can keep for your records. This will, bless you. This will conclude your case. You'll be free to go, and you have a blessed day.
You too.
Thank you. And Mr. Vasquez, this will conclude your case as well, and you have a blessed day.
Thank you.
All right.
You as well.
You're welcome.
All right.
Okay.
Thank you.
We have
Move on to this.
Okay, we have Jaden Lance Williams. Let's plead one, dismiss the one. Okay. Now, let's see. Okay. Okay. Now this,
This is forfeiture.
Okay. Okay. Now, let's see. The court is in session in two cases. First case is cause number 23 CCCR 0618. The second case is cause number 23CCCR 0619. Both cases are styled the state of Texas versus Jaden Lance Williams. Mr. Williams, is that your full name?
Yes, sir.
Okay, Mr. Williams, would you please raise your right hand? Mr. Williams, do you swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth to help you God? Now, Mr. Williams, how are you doing? I'm doing fine. Thanks for asking. Mr. Williams, I see you have your pastor here with you. Your dad and pastor? Okay, how you doing, Reverend Williams? I'm doing fine. Now, just for the record, I know your dad. Okay, I know Pastor Williams, been knowing him for several years now. Now, just for the record, this is I guess, I don't know, have we ever met? We have never met. Okay, so we never met. We never talked about your case or anything, right? In fact, same thing with your dad. Reverend Williams, we've never talked about his case or anything. Okay, so I just needed to make that disclosure to the state. State, do you have any objection with me serving as the judge in this case?
We have no objection.
Okay, no objections. All right, so at this time, Mr. Williams, the court has sworn you in. All right, so we're going to proceed on the first case, which is cause number 23CCCR 0618. And in this case, Mr. Williams, I have a document that is titled information or information sheet. The information sheet is a document that was filed by the Jefferson County District Attorney's Office. In this document or this information sheet, it alleges that you, Jaden Lance Williams, on or about December 25th of 2022, while you were in Jefferson County, Texas, that you committed the Class A misdemeanor offense of possession of dangerous drugs. Do you understand what you've been charged with?
Yes, sir.
And to this charge, Mr. Williams, how do you plead? Guilty, not guilty, and no contest?
Guilty.
Guilty? Now, are you pleading guilty freely and voluntarily?
Yes, sir.
And are you pleading guilty because you are guilty?
I'm guilty.
You're guilty. Okay. Now, Mr. Williams, I also have before me a document that is titled Misdemeanor Plea Admonishments. It's also labeled as State's Exhibit Number 1. Do you recognize this document?
Yes, sir.
On page 2 of the same document, there are a set of initials, JLW, that's on a line on 2 places. The first place that it is on the line is next to a box that's checked guilty. Did you place your initials on this document right here?
Yes, sir.
The second place it is on is below a paragraph that is titled Discovery Admonishment, and it is next to a statement that reads, I do not request discovery of the evidence. I waive my right to request discovery in the case and choose to enter a plea of guilty or no contest. Did you place your initials on this document right here?
Yes, sir.
Now, on page 3 of this same document, there is a signature above the line that is titled Defendant. Is this your signature?
Yes, sir.
And I have another document here that's titled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Right of Appeal. Do you recognize this document?
Yes, sir.
And is this your signature above the line that's titled Defendant?
Yes, sir.
At the top of this document, there are 2 boxes that's checked. The first box that's checked states that this is a plea bargain case and you have no right of appeal. Do you understand that? The second case, the second box that's checked states that you're waiving your right to an appeal, which means you're giving up your right to an appeal. Do you understand that statement?
Yes, sir.
I also have before me a document that is titled Judge's Explanation of Rights to Defendants Without Attorney. Do you recognize this document?
Yes, sir.
And is this your signature on the line that's titled Defendant? And are these your initials on the line stating that you want to waive your right to an attorney, which means to give up your right to an attorney and to represent yourself? I also have a document that is titled Waiver of Counsel for purposes of entering a guilty plea or proceeding the trial. Do you recognize this document? And is this your signature on the line that's titled defendant? Now, Mr. Williams, before you signed and initialed all of these documents, did you read the documents? And did you understand what you read? And is everything in these documents true and correct to the best of your knowledge? Now, Mr. Williams, you have a right to have this entire proceeding dictated or typed out by a court reporter. However, you also have the right to waive or give up that right to have all of that's being said dictated by a court reporter. Okay, do you understand that? And do you desire to waive your right or have a court reporter? What's your desire?
I waive the right.
You okay? You waive your right to have a court reporter. Now, Mr. Williams, are you a citizen of the United States? Okay, state. I have before me State's Exhibit number 1, the misdemeanor plea admonishment. State, would you like to offer State's Exhibit number 1 into evidence?
Yes, Your Honor.
Now, Mr. Williams, the state is offering State's Exhibit number 1 into evidence. State's Exhibit number 1 is this first document that I showed you, the one that you said you recognize, the one that have your initials. You said that these were your initials on page 2, and the one that has it has your signature on page 3. The state would like to use this document as evidence against you in your case. Is it all right for the state to use this document as evidence in your case? Okay, no objections. State's Exhibit number 1 will be admitted. Now, Mr. Williams, is there any evidence that you are currently mentally incompetent to stand trial? Okay, there's no evidence of that. Okay, Mr. Williams, I will accept your plea of guilty. I will find that you are mentally competent to stand trial. I will also find that your pleas and waivers was freely, voluntarily, and intelligently made. I will also find that there is sufficient evidence to find you guilty beyond a reasonable doubt. State, do we have a plea bargain agreement?
We do, Your Honor.
And what is the agreement?
In exchange for a plea of guilty and no contest, the states agreed to recommend 1 year deferred adjudication, community supervision, a $500 fine in court costs, 40 hours community-based service, and all other standard terms and conditions, Your Honor. And also in exchange for a plea on cause number 23 CCCR 0618, states agreed to dismiss the companion case 23 CCCR 0619, along with a forfeiture of the weapon in that case. And there's a paperwork on the forfeiture.
Okay. We had a court case in this case. On the yes, he was getting probation. Okay, let me do this here. Okay. Mr. Williams, the state is offering that you serve 1 year deferred adjudicated probation. During the 1 year probationary period, you'll be required to pay a fine of $500 plus court costs of $307. You will also be required to pay a probation fee of $60 each month, a urinalysis fee of $15 each month, and a reimbursement fee of $15. Your total monthly installments, that is the total amount that you will be required to pay each month while you are on probation, is $162 a month. Will you be able to pay the $162 each month?
Yeah.
You'll also be required to perform 40 hours of community service and adhere to the other standard terms and conditions of probation. The state will be dismissing cause number 23CCCR0619 for forfeiture of the weapon. I have before me in cause number 23CCCR0619 a motion to forfeit the weapon in that case to the Beaumont Police Department. Do you recognize this motion to forfeit? Is this your signature on the line as titled defendant? Now, Mr. Williams, before you signed and initialed this document, did you read the documents? Did you understand what you read? And is everything in this document true and correct to the best of your knowledge? Mr. Williams, do you want the court to grant this motion to forfeit the weapon to the Beaumont Police Department? Okay. Mr. Williams, this motion will be granted. Mr. Williams, do you understand the state's offer?
Yes, sir.
And do you think that the state's offer in your case is fair and just?
Yes, sir.
And do you accept the state's offer?
Yes, sir.
Now, Mr. Williams, the court is going to defer a finding of guilt. That just simply means that the court is not finding you guilty today. That'll be put off. And if you successfully complete your probationary period, you will not be found guilty. And this case will be dismissed. And you may qualify for what we call a non-disclosure. And basically what a non-disclosure is, it means that we cannot disclose the fact that you are on deferred probation to the general public. And you can talk to an attorney about that when you get off probation to get the non-disclosure for you. Okay, so Mr. Williams, again, you understand the state's offer?
Yes, sir.
You think that the state's offer in your case is fair and just?
Yes, sir.
And do you accept the state's offer?
Yes, sir.
Okay, Mr. Williams, the court is going to follow the plea bargain agreement that you have entered into with the state. Also, the court is going to dismiss the companion case for forfeiture of weapon, and that companion case is cause number 32CCCR0619, and I'm signing that dismissal as we speak. And Mr. Williams, how old are you?
23.
23? Okay. Now, Mr. Williams, I know young people these days, even like in my day, you know, we all have friends, right? And you all say, you know, he got my back, she got my back, I got their back. Okay. Don't believe that. That's a bunch of crap. The only person got your back is that man that's sitting here right now. Okay. You call him dad, father, but that's the one who got your back. You know how I know that? Because I see you here, you're healthy. He helped to put a roof over your head, the clothes on your back, food on the table, and he's sitting here right now. All them friends that you have who have your back, where are they? they can't be found. Okay, so my point is, like they used to tell us, watch the company you keep. Okay, you don't need to learn nothing else out there in the street that you hadn't learned at home. Okay, so just hint to the wise. Make sure that you continue to do those things that you know is right, and I know you know what's right. Okay, because I'm sure they taught you right from wrong, and I know they taught you right from wrong. That's it. I'm glad you brought that point up. You say they still teaching. You know why? They love you, right? And guess what? I don't care how old you get. He's still gonna be your daddy. They still gonna be your mom. That's how God made it, right? You need to listen to him, okay? And so, again, people make mistakes in life, but we have a God of many chances, not just one chance. And so you can get this all behind you, and you'll be on the road to being a productive citizen. Okay. So at this time, stand on the X in front of our court clerk. Once you finish following her directions, you'll be free to go, and you have a blessed day.
Thank you.
Okay, you're welcome.
Right thumb, third arm. You can move it forward 3 times.
I think it was this one. Not the one you can't erase.
This is the word that she got
Grant,
here.
Oh, Grant. Okay.
this was Mr. Grant mentioned that potential to have a CDL, and you may need to speak to.
Okay.
Mr. Williams.
So you just need your case reset to give you a chance to talk to a lawyer? That's what you're saying?
I don't know if he wants to apply for one, but
Oh,
the repercussions of what an offer is will affect the CDL.
yeah,
So
yeah, okay.
I'm not gonna go any
All right.
further and advise.
See y'all later. Okay. Now, let me do this here, Mr. Grant. This is cause number 23CCCR0574. Case is styled State of Texas versus Everett Grant. Mr. Grant, would you please raise your right hand? Mr. Grant, do you swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth to help you God? Mr. Grant, you may put your hand down. Now, Mr. Grant, I have before me 2 documents. The first document is titled Judge's Explanation of Rights to Defendants Without Attorney. The second document is short, titled Waiver of Counsel for Purposes of Entering a Guilty Plea or Proceeding in Trial. Now, earlier we went over these documents. You told the court that you recognized the documents and that your signatures and initials were on these documents, and prior to signing and initialing these documents, you read these documents, you understood everything in these documents, and everything in these documents is true and correct to the best of your knowledge. Is that correct? All right. So, Mr. Grant, you've had an opportunity to talk to the prosecutor about this case. And so what would you like to do now?
I would like to, speak with him.
Okay, now do you want to, you say you like to speak to an attorney. Are you going to hire an attorney first? Okay, all right. So what we'll do is, so you're changing your mind on waiving your right to have an attorney. Is that correct? Okay, so let him, Mr. Porter, could you have him to make the necessary corrections on this document? Okay, so Mr. Grant, and You change, you say you want to reset this case to hire your own attorney. Is everything in that document you're correct to the best of your knowledge? All right, so Mr. Grant, you're gonna stand in front of our court coordinator. She's gonna reset your case. Once your case is reset, you'll be free to go and you have a blessed day. All right, just on the far end. Yes, court coordinator. And Jefferson County Code at law number 2 is back in session. Court is in session in cause number 23CCCR 0590, case of style of the state of Texas versus David Emmanuel Catala. Mr. Catala was scheduled to be in court this morning at 9 a.m. At or about 9 a.m., the court's be able to call the name of David Catala at the courthouse door. David Catala did not answer. David Catala did not appear while the court was in session. The time now is 12:59 p.m. on today's date. Mr. Bailiff, would you please call the name of David Catala at the courthouse door?
That's your next question. You don't have to sign it. That's your- I'm sorry.
David Catala's name was just called at the courthouse door by the court's bailiff. David Catala did not answer. A reasonable time has passed to give Mr. Catala an opportunity to appear in court. He has not appeared in court. State, do we have a motion? Motion? That motion will be granted. David Catala's bond will be forfeited and a warrant shall be issued for his arrest. Next case is cause number 23CCCR 0264, case of style of the state of Texas versus Jacobian Eugene Morris. Jacobian Morris is scheduled to be in court this morning at 9 a.m. At or about 9 a.m., the court's bailiff called the name of Jacobian Morris at the courthouse door. Jacobian Morris did not answer. Jacobian Morris has not appeared in court since the court has been in session. The time now is 1 p.m. on today's date of July 25th of 2023. Mr. Bailiff, would you please call the name of Jacobian Morris at the courthouse door? Jacobian Morris' name was just called again at the courthouse door. Jacobian Morris did not answer when the bailiff called his name. A reasonable time has passed to give Mr. Morris an opportunity to appear in court. He is not appearing in court. State, do we have a motion? That motion will be granted. A warrant shall be issued for the arrest of Jacobian Morris and his bond shall be forfeited in cause number 23CCCR 0364. And this will conclude the calling of the court's arraignment docket on today's date of July 25th, 2023 in County Court at law number 2 of Jefferson County, Texas. Judge Terrence Holmes presiding. Everyone, please have a blessed day.